I'm in the middle of swapping a 2ZR engine into my Yaris, and I'm supposed to be working on that right now. But you know what? I've been having second thoughts. There are so many other different options for how you can make this little Yaris fast, fun, and unique. So I think I'm gonna procrastinate a little bit by finding some of those, seeing if I can drive them, and see if my 2ZR swap is still the best choice. So I am driving up right now to Cincinnati, Ohio, to go and check out another Yaris. You know, someone in my comments said that I might have the fastest Yaris in the US, and that is very, very flattering, but it is 100% incorrect. My whole inspiration for even thinking that a Yaris could go to track was when I was working at the SECA runoffs at Laguna Seca. I was watching the H production race, and I saw a man named Jason Isley clinch the championship in a 2007 Toyota Yaris hatchback. It was almost identical to mine, and before that, I had never even considered the fact that my little Yaris could be a race car. Jason put a ton of work into that car, and a lot of the knowledge of how to develop a 1NZ in semi-stock form can be attributed to Jason's career with that car. He also had multiple versions of that car, including a later model Yaris, which actually sold a couple years ago. And honestly, the transmission alone in that thing was worth like $5 grand. It wasn't boosted, it wasn't swapped or anything like that. It was just a well-built, well taken care of, adapted to within an inch of its life 1NZ. There are also other racers out there like Armstrong Racing in San Diego. They have a whole video about how to put a 6-speed into the 5-speed housing. And then there are people who have already done the 2ZR swap. There are people who have turboed the Yaris. There are people running the Blitz supercharger. And there are plenty of other people pursuing the Yaris platform out there. And I am gonna go meet some of them right now. This Yaris belongs to Kyle Tipton, who works in auto salvage and is building it out to take to the track. As a big Borderlands fan, I love the look, and if I had started my Yaris now, instead of when I was first starting out, I think mine would have ended up a lot like this.
So I started off with a 2007 base model Yaris. I got it from an auto auction. It had a big dent in the quarter panel, and I think I gave like $700 for it.
That sounds very, very familiar.
I've had a lot of track cars in the past. I just was tired of no AC, kind of a nuisance to drive, and I didn't want to take away the drivability of this car.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely like something that you've got to do once. You've gotta like take out the AC, and you've gotta make
Smell like gas.
Yeah, make it as light as possible.
Yeah, once I hit 30, I was like, yeah, I'm over this. Weapon arc header that's just got the heat wrap on it, and then it's 2.5 inch all the way back with its 2.5 inch race performance cat, and it's TRD Camry exhaust. So it's for a Camry. It was at a body shop, and it had like a scratch on it, and they couldn't use it. And I was like, okay.
Yeah,
cool. Give me,
I mean,
it's like $100. I'm like, yeah, I'll take that.
Well, it sounds great. Kyle's Yaris doesn't have the same modifications that mine does, but this is the kind of build that you'd want to have to run in Grid Life's Sunday Cup. There's just one problem with that. What, does this qualify for a Sunday Cup?
No. So, and that was my whole thing when I built the car. I did not want to build it for a specific class. I just thought it was, I don't know, I'm weird on race classes because I think it's like kind of goofy. It's like, I don't want to have to deal with rules changing every year.
They change with the season, yeah.
And I just want something that I don't care if I have to run this thing in unlimited modified class and get my ass waxed every single time. That's fine. It's just for fun. Sunday Cup is designed for chassis like the Yaris, but as far as modifications, it can be very restrictive. And that's not to say anything bad about Sunday Cup specifically. It's designed to be cheap and entry level, but you lose a little bit of the creativity, especially when it comes to modifications. The journey I'm on with the Yaris is as much about making mistakes as it is about making a car faster. And I've already made plenty of mistakes with the Yaris, mistakes that people like Kyle with more knowledge are able to avoid. See, this is why it's nice to have Yaris friends. Kyle, very nicely, gave me a USDM gauge cluster, which will have the RPM. That should theoretically solve the issue that my JDM cluster has.
A big thank you to Kyle for letting me drive his car, but I've got some time to kill before my flight, so I'm gonna go drive some Corvettes.
Oh my God!
Look, I'm sorry I put Corvette content in this video. I know that's not what you want. I know you want Yarises. And to prove that I am dedicated to the Yaris platform, I flew all the way to South Africa to check out this thing.
This guy is a total fit supercharger. I can say the same car, né? Yaris and the Vitz, but the difference is this one is import from Japan. I like this car. Yeah. I like too much. This guy is fast and he's strong. He's driving nice. I like everything for this car. Other country is easy because the import cars we're using from, like in Malawi, using import car. There's no any problem. But here in South Africa, they don't need the import car. They don't like it, nah? They don't use import car. Like when you're driving, you must have all the papers. You understand? So it's like a permission, TIP, we call it TIP, nah?
TIP, okay.
Yeah. So when you got all the papers, the same is easy. Yeah, then you can drive anywhere.
Ibrahim was nice enough to let me drive his Yaris, but being on the wrong side of the road, wrong side of the car, and only having my phone, I didn't end up actually getting any good footage of it, so here's us driving ATVs instead. Yeah, you feel the back sliding out a lot? If you hadn't already realized, this has been kind of a grab bag of stuff that has happened throughout the year. I have been traveling a lot this year, including 15 states, 3 countries, and a lot of driving. I've been putting a lot of miles on Mara here, and one of the things that has made that a little more tolerable is this guy from Carista. This is the Carista Evo OBD2 device, and this isn't just a scan tool. You can actually go in and make dealer level changes to your vehicle. You do need a subscription to make those changes, but the best part is you can activate and deactivate at any time, and the changes that you've made will stick. I personally like this for turning off the auto start stop in this truck. It's annoying as heck, and even though I can turn it off from a button here, every time I start the vehicle up again, that is automatically on. With the Carista Evo, I can turn it off permanently. This is cheaper than a lot of the OBD devices I've seen, cheaper than a Blue Driver, and it's got more functionality. The Carista is compatible with 15 different brands. It requires 0 automotive know-how to get to work, and it does not void your warranty. And there's little hidden things for every brand, like the fact that in this truck, because parts of it were also used in the Lincoln, I can change over from Ford to Lincoln dash setting. That way you can customize your vehicle and make it your own. Carista Evo works with the Carista app, so you can have all that functionality right on your phone. You get dealer level diagnostics, customization tools, live data parameters, and service tools as well. I'm gonna put a link in the description below so that you guys can get a discount on one of these as well. But for now, I'm gonna head up to NorCal to see one more Toyota Yaris.
Okay.
RP here has a 2007 2ZR swapped Toyota Yaris. Oh, and one other thing, it's California legal. This is not a Yaris that came like this. This is swapped.
Yes, this is swapped. Drove this off the lot back in 2007, and then the transmission died in 2023. So it was either replace the transmission or go for the swap, and that was kind of like the sign to just go ahead and do it, right?
Were you able to get like a half cut, or just pulled it all right there?
Pulled it all right there. Yeah, because it was way cheaper to just go ahead and put in all the work. The only thing I had to go back for was an airbox because I forgot to grab it. Because the Yaris was already wired exactly like the Scion XD, I knew that the engine harness would be fully compatible except for one wire. So yeah, the entire wiring harness in here is from the Scion XD.
The wire he's talking about is getting power to the MAF sensor. There's also additional wiring for the speedo, which I would have to do to use that new cluster. RP's Yaris is really unique, but it's nice to see some familiar parts as well. This is so close to exactly what I'm about to go through.
Yeah.
07 auto.
Yep.
Now manual, although you have the XD transmission.
Yes, I have the XT transmission. So this has a M Factory LS helical LSD.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so not plate type, but I'm not really taking it to track. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and just boast. I think this is the only carb legal swapped Yaris. Like with the 1.8.
Yeah, I mean, California, you got to do that extra little bit of work.
It honestly wasn't that bad if you take everything from the XD and just plop it in. The appointment went super fast.
I guarantee you that mine will not be the next one. Yeah, even low in the RPM band, it still feels like it's got definitely a little bit more wake. I think there are versions of this engine that had like 145 horsepower, but the XD had 136. Was that, so that's just ECU tuning?
I'm pretty sure that's just ECU tuning that they might want to have just kept on.
What brakes do you have in here?
These are stock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, these are stock brakes. Yeah.
I was thinking this might be like a good indicator of what mine is going to be like, but this is so much nicer of a car than mine is that I'm like, oh, this is really like comparing apples and oranges.
Well, I mean, give yourself some credit. I think they're going to be closer in twins. It's just going to be louder, honestly, because you have stripped interior.
Yeah,
so,
totally.
Yeah.
It's beautiful up here, though. No, should have known it was there.
Still,
Still Yaris.
Still Yaris.
RP's build is so clean and so well documented on his Instagram, it's gonna help me a lot on my own swap. As much as I loved driving the other cars in this video, it gives me confidence to know that I'm on the right track with mine. Now all I need to do is get the darn swap done, but that's gonna be in another video.